How are you, Megan?
I'm great, Nancy. How are you? I'm like pumped up and ready to go today.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get going because this is a really important topic that I have been through quite a bit with my own bookkeeping debacles. And I think it's one of the most frustrating things that business owners deal with is how to, in their words, like how do I get my bookkeeper to do what I need them to do? And I don't think they're doing the right thing. And I'm not sure. And they never seem to do it right. And I always, you know me, I'm always like, well, how much do you know about it yourself so that you can actually give good feedback? So tell us where we start. Like, how do we manage
Yeah.
our
So,
bookkeeper?
like, starting off on the right foot, and part of this is the bookkeeper's fault, and part of it is the business owner's fault, right? Like, when it doesn't take very long for a relationship with the bookkeeper to start circling the drain if the expectations are not set well at the beginning. Many business owners hire their bookkeeper the first time and they are expecting like this. What they have in their mind isn't like, I need a CPA. It's like, I need a bookkeeper. And what they're expecting to get from that bookkeeper is like a full-time accounting staff that gives you all the tax advice and all of this things.
That's
and
what we
gives you
expect,
the
but that's not what
insights.
we get.
No. Like, I'm going to go back to my timeline, right? If this is timeline and this is today, this historical stuff, this is the realm that your bookkeeper lives in. They take the things and they put them in the right buckets. A transaction comes through, they put a name on it where it belongs on the financial statements. They're not saying like, oh, you need to cut back on this particular thing, or oh, your profitability would be better. They like, their job is not to have the insights and how to tell you how to run your business. That is not their job. Their job is not to show you how to read your financial statements and get information out of it. Not their job. Their job is to put the transactions in the correct buckets.
This is
Okay.
so important what you just said, because I think people do ask their bookkeepers to be more like accountants as opposed to putting the transactions in the right buckets in your QuickBooks or your FreshBooks or whatever you use. And that's the end of their job, really.
Yes. That is the end of their bookkeeping job. Now, some people who do books do offer some consultative services or do offer some insights, that type of thing. But that is not like when that is when you say the word bookkeeper, their job is to keep your books nice and tidy. Keep it
Okay.
clean.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's the first step. Understanding
Yes.
what the role of a bookkeeper is. Your role of your bookkeeper is not your accountant.
Correct. They're not your tax expert. They are not your CFO. They are your bookkeeper. They make things nice and tidy. When you have a housekeeper come to your home, do you expect them to be like, oh, you know what? Your foundation's shifting a little bit. You should have that looked into. Or, oh, they're having plumbing issues. I'm going to go fix that for them. No,
Okay.
no. They keep it clean. They keep your house clean. They do the vacuuming, maybe wash some windows. Right?
Right. So the expectations of what your bookkeeper is going to accomplish for you is important for you to understand, for them to relate to you, and for you to understand
Yes.
their limitations and their role in your organization.
Yes. So
Okay.
now if part of this is where you need to know what's going on, because what do you want from them? It could be as simple as, I just want you to do my bank reconciliations every month. That's it. Just reconcile my books. It might be like, I need you to actually categorize all of my transactions as they come in.
So
great. It might be.
This is though, depending on what you do yourself, right? So I took my bookkeeping back and I'm much happier because now I know everything's in the right bucket. And when I get confused, I call you. But you also do all the higher level planning, right? So you're not a bookkeeper, you're a CFO. So people could have really, as they grow, a bookkeeper, an accountant, and a CFO, a virtual CFO.
Yeah.
Right. So you could have all three. That feels like a lot to small businesses.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it really depends on, like, again, what you need. And that's where we can like work backwards from the most simple thing to the most complex. Do you want somebody like, what's causing you the most angst right now? Is it invoicing clients? Well, then let's get you a bookkeeper that will invoice your clients, right? Make sure that all the hours are accounted for and build out the way that you want it built out.
And if it's your designating your transactions in your accounting software into the right bucket so that your profit and loss and your balance sheet are correct, then you need someone to do that. That would still be a bookkeeper. And then a reconciliation of your bank statements or your credit card statements to your books, again, is still a bookkeeper's responsibility if that's what you hire them for. But after that, you need someone different.
Pretty much, yeah. If you're going to start doing like tax planning, taxes, stuff like that, or if you want to start anything past the today line, anything in this realm of future looking stuff, it's not your bookkeeper.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. And so all of this thing, all of this has in common for your bookkeeper is that you can put it on a checklist. Like we call it a close schedule. And so you want to get a little bit of jargon here. Here's your jargon. It's your close schedule is what your bookkeeper is going to take care of. And so the components that you want to know is like, when do you want it done by? Saying the first of the month is not reasonable because there are transactions that come in. You have to have time for your reconciliations, that type of thing. And the sooner you want it done, the more you're going to pay. Okay. So if you want it done by the 6th of every month, you're going to have to pay more than if it's going to be, needs to be done by the 23rd of every month. Okay.
So your close date is a tight turnaround time to the end of the month. They'll charge you more probably.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Then there's like what needs to be done, the checklist. I need to make sure that all of the bank transactions are matched up. I need all of my AP, my accounts payable to be clean. Not many people have AP these days. For small businesses, they run it through a credit card or run it through a bank card. So it's not like you're cutting checks for bills. Right. And my invoicing to go out. Like I need all of the invoicing to be done. Generally, those are the 3 big things to get them off a small business owner's table is good enough, right? Like that makes things clean and tidy.
Right.
To get into far more detail.
Teresa's saying hi to us. Hi, Teresa.
Teresa. Hi.
Okay, so they're transaction matching, they're reconciling, they may be invoicing, they may be getting your payables if you still run it through where you're writing checks. These are the responsibilities. And then the close date of when you expect these things to be done by from the end of the month forward. So the 15th of the month or whatever you choose could dictate, right, when they need to send you that they're done. But what happens when there's things going into the wrong accounts, which I think is one of the biggest complaints that people have about their bookkeepers? I don't think they're putting the transactions into the right buckets.
Communication. Okay. Communication. Step 2, we have our expectations, but how often are you reiterating those expectations or having that open conversation with your bookkeeper? Every month? Hopefully what's happening is that they're sending you the close packet that has your financials or whatever it is that you wanted to see at the end by that close date, right? Like 24th of the month, I need my close packet for the previous month. Great. And if you're looking at that and you're seeing it like, why is there this negative number on my balance sheet? That shouldn't be a mystery. That is definitely something that you can ask them of saying, hey, I see that my sales tax is negative $2,500. Why is it negative $2,500? And they should have an answer for you, right? They are your bookkeeper. They should fully understand why your balances are what they are. If they don't, that's a whole other problem. But yes, you have every right to ask questions about why a number is what it is. They should know that. When you start asking them like, well, how can I cut my tax liability? That's not a question for them.
Getting it. Yeah, that's your accountant if they're also your tax planner.
Yes, so you should be talking to your bookkeeper. Like in my firm, what we do, we just send a Loom video along with things. And if they have questions back, then we'll either set up an appointment or we'll just continue with our Loom conversation. But ask the question. You're not insulting anybody by saying, hey, I don't understand why this number is what it is. What's going on here?
So I feel what's missing in a lot of situations and was missing in my firm when I was having a bookkeeper do it. I wasn't communicating enough with them. Like I wasn't saying there's this, whatever. I'm just going to give one example. Like I took $2,000 out of its owner's drawer. I took it out of my business and put it into my personal life. Instead, it would be a $2,000 transaction, a transfer, and they wouldn't know what it was. So I think with certain businesses, especially interior designers, there's so many transactions going through for every little thing. I don't know that the business owner is always communicating to the bookkeeper what each transaction, what bucket it should go under. Is it shipping? Is it delivery? Is it a product? Is it cost of goods? Is it this? Like, there has to be a guideline when you hire a bookkeeper as a starting point for them to understand what kinds of transactions go through your business, correct?
Yeah, so generally your bookkeeper is going to need more of your time at the beginning of the relationship, and that will taper off. A lot of bookkeepers use an account that's called Ask My Client. And so if there's something that they come across, instead of halting everything, calling the client and not doing anything until they can get a hold of the client, they'll just put anything that they don't understand into an Ask My Client account so that they can work with you to figure out where that belongs for realsies. And then they learn your patterns and your preferences so they can do that going forward. It's not just you can't just hand off the entire bookkeeping and say, I'm out. I'll talk to you on the 23rd. Bye.
I have to tell you, and I think that is the biggest thing that I guide people to. Like, you're complaining about your bookkeeper. When was the last time you had a conversation? And it's, well, shouldn't they just know? That's why I hire them. No, they don't just know your business until you have established your patterns and communicated with them, like you're saying in the beginning. And I think that takes the business owner learning a little bit about bookkeeping themselves and understanding even what it means to designate a transaction into the right account. Some people don't even understand, and that's okay, because this is a learning process when you're an entrepreneur. You have to understand what that even means.
Yes. Yes. Remember that you are the leader in this relationship, right? You own the business. It's your business. Nobody is going to love your business as much as you do. Nobody's going to take care of it as much as you do. She doesn't have buckets. Okay. We'll get to that, Teresa.
Good question, though. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So be the leader in the relationship. Don't expect them to come to you. You have to say, I'd like to meet you on the third Thursday of every month and just take 15 minutes and walk through this, at least until I'm comfortable. Okay. Yes. The reason people don't do this is because they feel very insecure in their knowledge about the books and about how the accounting stuff works. And that's totally, I'm not saying that you have to go out and get an accounting degree. That's not it at all. But I am saying that you need to take the leadership role in the relationship. And if you don't understand something, ask the question.
There really is never a dumb question when it comes to accounting. It really is, or bookkeeping. It really is very complicated at times, depending on what you do for a living. But I will tell everybody, once you get it, the light bulb goes off and you're like, this is kind of easy, actually. Once you get it, at least that bookkeeping, meaning placing the transaction into the right bucket.
Yes. Yes.
It's not that hard once you understand it. And then if you have your bookkeeper actually doing the work, then you're just logic checking it once a month.
Right. Right. And you can request different detailed reports. You can get a regular P&L, or you can get a super detailed P&L that shows all of the transactions. So you can review the whole thing if that's what you prefer. Do that once a quarter. You don't have to do it every month, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what about Teresa's question here? How do you name the buckets? And I will tell you, my tip on this was, I have to name it something that I understand a month from now. Like,
I name it things that amuse myself.
Easy. What do you suggest?
I name things if it gives me it gives me a little, I don't know. I have a little bit of a sense of humor when I'm naming my buckets. Shiny things that I probably shouldn't have spent money on is totally the name of one of my accounts.
What is it?
Shiny objects that I probably shouldn't have spent money on. You know, like these things. Software that helps /client relationships, you know, things that help me build a relationship with my client, like the subscription type thing. Or I don't want to put everything under tech. Like, I'm sure Teresa's talking about like all of these different pieces with her design. Like, if there's Canva in there and some graphics and all of it, what does it mean to you? How does it help your business? There are no laws about what you have to name your accounts. If it is an account that you can categorize in your brain and that's what you call it in your brain, call it that in your accounting software. Nobody's going to chastise you for it.
I actually think this is brilliant and hysterical at the same time. So, like, instead of saying owner's drawer, I could say I needed money. Like,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So
Mine.
name it
You
something
just call
you're
it
going to
mine.
understand. Yeah, money. I needed money in my personal life, right? Need to pay my bills, whatever, right?
Yeah,
I love this. Okay, so even if it's a software you've purchased that helps with clients, you can say software that helps with clients. Like, you don't have to be like so businessy and official all the time.
yeah, exactly. And especially on the software ones, like software things, money's to get
Mama
paid.
needs to get paid. I'm gonna go in my QuickBooks and rename my owner's drawer to Mama needs to get paid. Oh my God, I love that, Teresa. That's
And it could
hysterical.
be, Megan, you need to look at this account, review this account, like just an account of things of all those little different subscriptions that I have that I just like, oh, it's $12. Who cares? It's $12. Who cares? Like, well, after 6 months, I should probably make a designation of, yes, I'm going to keep that, or no, that needs to go. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So just to recap, your bookkeeper is in charge of probably three things the most, right? Designating the accounts into the right buckets so that your income statement and your profit and loss statement makes sense.
Mhm.
They're in charge of, if you need them to, reconciling your bank statements or your credit card statements to your accounting software, and then possibly invoicing and payables if you need them
Yeah.
to.
Well, and also, I mean, like, we can even get more and more detailed, like compliance. They could be doing your sales tax filing, the 1099s. They could do your 1099s filing at the end of the year. Like, there's all of these things that they should know about that they can help. Ask the question, what am I missing for compliance? Are there things that you can help me with there too?
Okay. Okay, so understanding the role that you want them to play for you in your organization, communication, setting up a monthly 15 minutes to go over, and a close date, to the date you expect them to have all these things done by once a month, and understanding it yourself, and then having some fun with your accounting naming, your account naming, which actually makes it so much better.
Yeah.
It really does. It really, because books are so stressful for everybody. If you have a little fun with it, I think it's not like you said, no one's going into your QuickBooks, and the IRS is not coming into your QuickBooks and going, why did you name it that? Like, understanding your own accounts is key.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Anything else we're missing?
I don't think so. They are your friend, but
They
you have to
are
talk
your
to them.
friend. I
You
think
have
I want to just
open communication.
communication. Okay, so set up regular meetings. I'm reading from my list. Learn a little bit yourself, and then set up a regular communication, like a set meeting. I think this is great.
Mhm.
Everyone, don't be afraid of your bookkeeper. Don't let your bookkeeper scare you. I think what Megan said perfectly was, you're the leader in the relationship. And I think that's one of the things that when we feel like we don't know something, we're like intimidated to sound stupid.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a bookkeeper that you can really communicate well with on a regular basis, then it might be time to change bookkeepers, because you need to have someone that you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Correct? Okay. Tell everyone what you do for them and where to find you.
I am, what do I do for people? I help people I help my interior designer and architect clients understand their future cash flow and what that means for their personal goals. Like, ooh, let's go get the goal. Let's do it. Let's protect the progress. Let's make this happen and not just make you work day after day for a job.
What? Right. Be clear. So
don't own a job, own a business.
Don't own a job, own a business. I like it. All right. Tell them your website.
MeganDahle.com.
All right. Now, Megan is my virtual CFO. She can be yours too, helping you plan for your business in the future on the top level financial stuff. You're just a wealth of knowledge. So to me, everybody needs you. So, all right, everyone, if you are looking for ongoing business coaching for your business in 2022, if you're an interior designer, this one program I'm going to talk about right now is just for interior designers, my Profit Insiders for interior designers. It's a 1-year program. It will completely change the face of your 2022 and make sure you are making the money you deserve for all your hard work. So that's the goal of that. So if you're interested in that, go to my website at the very top. There's a link to an application. It's by application only. I want to make sure everyone in the group is a good fit. If you're not a good fit for that, I may have another thing that helps you out. I will be honest with you. I always am. It's part of my problem. So, all right, everyone, go have a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow with Teresa. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Megan.
See ya.
Bye.